Let's talk about Kai Cenat.
Kai
Cenat is one of the biggest Twitch streamers. We were just talking about this last night. Was banned. Now, there is a bunch of controversy as to what the ban was about. Some people saying because he got shoes from Kick and also got shoes from Twitch, and he liked the shoes from Kick more. And I don't think that's what it was. I think it has to do with simulated sexual activity on stream. Seems more likely.
In Grand Theft Auto.
In Grand Theft Auto.
Not in real life.
Not in real life.
Because you never know what could be allowed on Twitch.
Look, I was actually, we were just talking about this last night about, Andrea or Jamie made some post about about Marilyn Monroe if Twitch was around.
What?
It was
would she have been a Twitch streamer?
Yeah, it's like basically I was just like, if you can't handle me at my ASMR video, you don't deserve me at my hot tub stream. Like that's really what it would have been. And the world we live in is just a mess now. But he's banned, and I think it's only a 7-day ban, which makes sense. But I think a lot of it is there's like a weird rotating door at Twitch now, and people get banned very
super
easily.
trigger happy with bans if you're not Pokimane.
And it's and that's like they talk about that. I think Kai had gotten banned before because of a back and forth with Pokimane and stuff like that. I might be misremembering that part.
If you say one critical thing of their queen bee,
can't criticize Pokimane. Whatever happened to Nico Lol,
buddy?
Whatever happened to Nico Lol?
She's around still.
Okay, Boomer Girl.
She's still around.
Is she still around?
She's just less relevant.
But
kind of a one-hit wonder.
Is Amaranth on YouTube or is she on?
She's still on Twitch.
She's on Twitch.
And so like it's got to be scary, and it is in a way. I've been thinking about this more recently. It's relevant here because we've started to pay closer attention to thumbnails. I edit out words now in thumbnails. Like I had to edit out the word nude. Like I had to put an asterisk there. I had to put the word. I had to put a little asterisk instead of the U. And I've noticed that since I've started being more careful with like the language in the thumbnails, I had to do it yesterday. I had to take domestic violence out of the thumbnail about Jonathan Majors, and it immediately fixed the ad revenue status for that video.
Self-censorship is rewarded on all platforms.
It is in a lot of ways. It's for creators, for content creators. That's a scary thing when your livelihood is dependent on these companies, which is why the smartest ones create brand deals and start to build organizational structure and financial incentives outside of the, just the streaming part of the platform. But it's
smart,
hard.
or is it just what you have to do?
It's what you have. I mean, it's like survival of the fittest, right? Like you end up having to do that. So
the simulated sexual activity in GTA thing doesn't make sense because that's an integral part of
the game
GTA. And I didn't know people, like you said, Brett, were still streaming this game.
Neither did I. Have you ever seen that clip where it's like the guy? It's the clip where the character's like talking to him. She's like trying to grab him, and he goes no, and he goes, well, she goes, well, I'm leaving. Then she opens the door, gets out, and falls off a cliff. Like the car's parked at the edge of the cliff.
So in the simulated sex thing, I thought that the last I remember playing this was like 2013, 14. What I know that's like ancient history, but didn't the game like stop allowing you to literally watch that, and then there were like workarounds around it? Or
there's probably mods, right? So, okay, but this is what they said. So it says, according to Twitch community guidelines, sexually suggestive content is prohibited on the platform.
That's
Quote,
bullshit.
To ensure, I know, right?
That's such bullshit.
Tell that to Amaranth.
Unless you're doing ASMR ear licking videos, then you're A-okay on the platform. That's totally allowed.
It's hot female privilege, I tell you. It's hot female privilege. They're allowed.
Insane.
To ensure content on Twitch is appropriate for diverse audiences. What does that mean?
Diverse audiences.
What you mean, all audiences?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
that doesn't make any sense to me.
It's like people just use words. They don't even care what they mean anymore. Sexually suggestive content is prohibited on Twitch unless you're Amaranth. It doesn't actually say that last part. I made that part up.
Independent of user attire, because cleavage titty streams are totally allowed.
Yes.
Instead, based on the overall surrounding framing and context. So if you're in a hot tub, you're allowed to be wearing a bikini.
I'm going to tell you right now, there is nobody more industrious than these young female Twitch streamers. They always find a way. They are the true capitalists in our society. They have a market that needs to be filled, and they find a way. They always find a way.
It's just funny how male streamers seem to be the only ones getting getting punished on Twitch for having edgy content.
Yeah.
So it's Kai Cenat, Aiden, Clicks, Aiden Ross.
Yeah.
And then KSI. You said KSI recently also had a
Yes, KSI said.
Scandal.
They can't say it.
I can't say the word. KSI said a word that is offensive to, let's say, like, in British usage, Asian, which in American usage would be Indian people. And he had to apologize. And
that was like right after his appearance on WrestleMania.
Right.
Like right after.
Literally right
for
afterwards.
people from Pakistan.
Yes, people from Pakistan, people from India, etc., would take offense to it. And it's a word that him and his mates on, what is it, the Sidemen, they are aware of the word. And they are aware that it also, I think one of his mates there is South Asian on the show.
Yeah.
And also they didn't react to it in a way that would make it seem as though they were actually angry. They all laughed and they all realized it was a joke. But some people were like, I won't stand for this. And it's a typical story, and then had to apologize for it. So
I've heard that Kick is not the greatest platform. From what I've been told, I've seen more than a few people saying that it's not a healthy alternative right now. I don't know.
I thought there was I read now here seeing KICK, but there's another like chat app called like Kick,
Kick,
KIK.
yeah.
Is that another thing? Is it just the same pronunciation?
Yeah.
It's a different app though, right?
Yeah.
Different app.
Different
Rampantly, notoriously used by child predators.
Oh,
the
okay.
KIK one.
Shows how much I know. Not very much.
Nicki
but-
Minaj actually commented on this, right?
This is a funny development. She addressed the recent ban of Kai Cenat on a recent live stream that she did, a Q&A session with her fans, questioned why the authorities would prevent him from streaming and urged them to let him continue doing what he loves. She expressed her fondness for Kai Cenat, saying she really likes him and would be interested in appearing on his stream. Isn't it funny to see a
mainstream celebrity? It's like, I would love to appear on your stream.
And possibly like go on Twitch
Yeah.
where it's obviously unedited content, and you're like open to criticism.
Yep.
And I'm surprised she even knows of Kai Cenat's existence in the first place.
Oh, I'm not. I'm actually like, I think a lot of them end up, a lot of these celebrities are starting to realize that they can make a lot of extra money and visibility on these platforms. It's one of the things that's
They can,
really
but they're falling behind with knowing.
It's one of the things that's been really funny about pro wrestling, because in pro wrestling, a lot of wrestlers seem to be gamers, right? And a lot of them had really popular Twitch channels. And WWE's like, nope, we're taking all the money from that because you're under contract to us,
Right.
even though they're technically independent contractors. So a lot of them stop streaming because they're like, I'm not going to make you money by like, why would I do that? Like, it's like, I can better use my time, or you just demonetize it or something like that. Why would I want to give you all of that money? But depending on who you work for, if these people work purely for themselves, there's just a lot of money to be made. And people that are mainstream celebrities, if they're smart, will be starting to cross promote on platforms that are not just whatever movies, TV, or music they make.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm interested to see if Twitch will explain the ban.
But it's got to be hard, right? We haven't had any type of, I believe for 110% we've been shadow banned for periods of time, or at least we've had slower than normal growth that didn't seem explainable given the trajectory we were on prior, right?
Yeah.
Like where things just slowed down to a crawl and there wasn't really an explanation.
a lot
as
of
to
other
why.
channels would say the same.
Yeah, and to be fair, a lot of it did seem to be connected when we would skirt the line on topics that seemed to be spicier. And I just never put much thought to it before because we were a smaller channel, so I just didn't think that we had to worry about it in the same way that like an IRL or a bigger channel has to worry about something like that. There's a lot more at stake for them, or at least there would have been at the time. So I have no idea, but I just know that it's very terrifying when you put so many of your eggs into one basket. That's why I've been promoting more to also check out, if you listen to the podcast, like for us, you can listen on Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon or all of these platforms, and that there's multiple ways, or merch store, things like that. You can no longer be like a one-trick pony.
Right.
If you're
Single
going to
platform.
work in these, platforms, you have to diversify.
Yeah, I think it's something that I've always thought about this. It's like, but then you've seen YouTubers already recognize that years ago.
Adpocalypse.
Yeah, but even around that time, people were making like, making diss tracks, etc. Things that were like, they were still on YouTube, but they realized that, okay, well, me just doing my main thing is going to eventually grow stale. I need to like diversify and something like that. I think this is kind of part of that, you know, in the sense that people are realizing that, like, yeah, I can't just be on Twitch. I can't just live stream. I have to do something else. Eventually, people are going to not want to watch your live stream. Eventually, you've said everything you can do. You have to do something, you know, you have to do something else.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. It's sad to see that. Cause
One day, me and Mary will have to just drag our asses outside and say, "What's your body count?" And we're gonna have to start asking people man on the street questions.
I'm down. I'll do it.
And like, well, what would you ask them if you were to ask them questions? What do you, like? Tell me about your relationship with Jesus.
I don't know. You're putting me on the spot. I'll come up with it.
I would need to know, like, I imagine you could come up with some great questions for people. Tell me your thoughts on Thomas Aquinas.
They'd be like, who is that?
Like, will you watch an episode of Pints with Aquinas with me? Like, but like we would have to diversify and go do not just man on the street interviews, but we'd have to do even worse. We'd have to go do like viral videos of some sort. And
what are your pronouns?
What are your pronouns? All that stuff. But most of those, like a lot of those people that come up with that stuff are very, very creative. So we would have to come up with our own little sub. What would we do? We'd have to be around here, right? So we'd have to go to some place around. We go to DC. And be like, hey, talk to me about anything but politics. Like, it'd be cool to be able to talk to politicians and be like, ask them questions about literally anything but politics.
Yeah, I wonder what they talk about.
What the hell does Lauren Boebert watch? Like, I want to know what's on her Amazon Prime queue or her Netflix queue. I need to know.
That's actually a good question.
Like, I would like that. That would be. We should see if we can ask Tim.
And they're like, no,
next time Tim goes to Congress, be like, can you ask this question?
They probably don't watch.
They don't have time.
I don't have TV.
No, but the thing is, it's a question they need to be prepared for because they want to always appear relatable to people. Yep. So they have to be like, they have to go then to their advisor and be like, what the hell are the kids watching these days? They're like, oh, I love that Wednesday show. That Jenna
was
Ortega.
It Tuesday?
Or was it Tuesday or was it Thursday?
Jennifer Coolidge.
and then they have to give you an answer. I mean, a lot of like traditional media does those things where they have the celebrity answer. Like, what are like answer the internet's most common questions.
Oh yeah.
Or the
I forget who that was. Who does that?
Or Vanity Fair or something like that.
Wired or something.
And Daily Wire did the thing where they did a similar version of that with Brett Cooper, where they had Brett Cooper like look up her own name on Google and stuff like that, and it's very endearing. Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.